New legionaries join you. That's the 4 we found on that last mission. Got Wojciech, Samuel, Albrecht, and Gregor. They bring their weapons and ammunition too, which is very useful. The squad returns with an after-action report, and afterwards rumours spread like wildfire. Is it true? Are we transporting members of the Tsar's family? You move to your car and await your advisor. He is to meet you to discuss the situation, but is late. You wait a few minutes, but there's still no sign of him. You step into the adjacent car and your soldiers clamour for your attention. Each yells out of turn. You hear one word leaping to the fore again and again. Murdered. Major, Alexei Demidov is dead. The husband of the family. He was found in his bed. Langer's voice is calm. The wrinkles on his forehead seem to suggest sadness, but perhaps he is just considering future possibilities. It's hard to say who did this, Major, but I suspect foul play. If you were to ask for my professional opinion, I would say he's been poisoned, possibly by cyanide. Captain Langer shows you a metal hip flask inscribed with a double-headed eagle. His flask has a faint whiff of almonds. I cannot attest to it, though others with a strong sense of smell have confirmed it. You move further along the train, storming from car to car until you find Maria Demidova. Major, I urge you, do not speak about my husband. Not a single word. Nothing can bring him back. Her lower lip trembles with her last word. No, don't apologize. Just get us to safety. Can you ever be safe, madam? Says Captain Langer. There is a note of kindness in your captain's voice. There's a murderer on board, apparently, and we'll have to look into it. We're not far from our destination, and we've already lost one of our passengers, who's supposedly the Tsar of Russia himself, or at least the caretakers of the children. We have suspicions. These are our new faces. We're going to put some metal plating around infantry car 3 just to protect the occupants now that it's almost full, or it is full. Let's look for our new faces and see what they bring aboard. We have an arrogant Samuel. He gets 10% increased work efficiency when he's by himself, but worse when he's in a group. Perfect train driver, I guess. A herbalist and a hunter at the same time. That's super useful. But arrogant. When you compare him to someone like Rostilav, who is loyal and strong. Then the next face is an austere, which means he sees leniency as a weakness. He's focused, he's impulsive, and he's a housekeeper, so he's great for looting. So we have 2 spaces left in infantry car 3, and I'm pretty sure we're fully upgraded, with the exception of a stove. And they're well protected. But we are starting to run short on space. This place sells amazing weapons. All tier 3 and tier 4. I think I'm just going to buy everything. We have lots of money. This is the outcome of the final trade. Getting rid of some of the old weaponry as well, just to balance the cost. And we will repair some of the cars while we're at station. 3, 4 cars repaired. Very short stay at that station. It didn't offer anything else in the way of trade. We've got an amazing arsenal now. And I think we might stop cooking the soup and switch to something else. Maybe some goulash. We'll research goulash. That seems to be the most useful out of all of the consumables. I see it being very useful, especially if you don't have a hospital car attached to your train. Giving extra health and morale while they're resting. The old towing bull. Getting us almost to Vladivostok. It should be not far away. Sending out some teams here. Got a bunch of places to loot. Oh, we have an airstrike inbound. And we've got the opportunity to shoot it down for 200 ammunition. We got him. That's it. Right, the looting teams are got to finish up. They're probably going to have to work into the night. But that's okay, temperatures are stable. Lots of rain, no snow. We are well prepared for the cold, I think. Alright, Captain Langer wants a word. I wish to discuss the situation with the family we're escorting. What do you think we should do then? I know Madame Demidova mentioned Pergla, and our provisional government ordered us to help her, but if they are members of the Tsar's family, God help us. That's true. We will become enemy of the state if we're trying to transport the royal family in exile. They are the future of Russia if they're allowed to live, if they survive. Neither side would allow us that kind of leverage, Major. Thankfully, it seems no one knows anything for sure. I don't believe we'd make it this far if they knew about it. Neither side is going to let us live if they know we have the royal family on board. Many are Tsarists, some are not. They are not the Imperial Russian army anymore, Major. I fear they would intervene and endanger the family. If not from enemy agents, then from sheer incompetence. My daughter is about the same age as the girl Anastasia. I do not like the idea of her being used in some political power play, much less executed. She or her siblings didn't choose their noble blood. There is a possibility that the Red Army will be waiting for us in the next town. That would put the family at risk. We should send someone out with an escort, like send the family out early with an escort, but it means giving up one of our soldiers. I'll make the decision later. We'll see what happens down the line. Well into the evening as we arrive at the next station. I believe this is just a small one. The train stops at the station and some of the soldiers hop off to stretch their legs and get some fresh air. When the locals notice them, they start whispering to each other. One of them rushes off somewhere, making some of the legionaries nervous. After a short while, the local reappears with several other people. Legionaries! They run towards your train, smiling from ear to ear. It seems they've been waiting here for a while, hoping for a Legion train to take them to Vladivostok. Your soldiers give them a warm welcome, help them with their belongings, and then all aboard the train. 4 new faces again. This is interesting. We've got Stepan, Ludwig, Philip, and I didn't catch the name of the last fellow. So Infantry Car 3 is full. Stepan. He's a short-sighted engineer that can throw grenades. Really far, judging by his 9 fit. Then we have Ludwig Kraus, who is a cook and a worker. He's faint-hearted and cannot take a combat role, just like our friend Ivan. He's stoic, but he cannot fight. So it looks like we have another candidate for the cookhouse. And he has a level 4 cook, so he's better than Ivan. Let's see how the goulash turns out once he's on the job. We have 2 bases used in Infantry Car 4 now, so we better seal that up. With 8 extra mouths to feed, that now puts a little bit more pressure on our food situation, so the cookhouse will have to stay manned all the time, I think. Let's head out. We'll meet the teams as they do their job. As your train departs, you notice there's a commotion in the corridor. Upon leaving the cabin, a soldier drags you to the window and urges you to look out, as someone is pursuing the train on horseback. With some surprise, you observe that this is true. A man dressed in a Cossack uniform with the White Army insignia is indeed chasing the train. To the amazement of you and your soldiers, he manages to catch up. He then stands on his horse and jumps aboard. You see your soldiers pull him inside. You walk swiftly down the train and reach the last car where the Cossack is standing. Still breathing heavily inside the circle formed by your soldiers, they all look at each other nervously. Please stop the train, so I can get back to my horse as soon as I've delivered my message. Well, no, you give us the message. You can see the look of frustration in his face. He obviously cares about his horse more than a means of transport. Major, I have a message from the lieutenant. He needs you to help us defend an airfield. I've been told to not return until I find you. You can ask for anything you want as a reward. His gratitude is overshadowed by concern for his horse. He just nods to your reply and asks once more for you to stop the train. Alright, we got a new mission. We can have whatever we want, apparently. Alright, this will be the squad that goes to help defend the airfield with all of our new weaponry. We are good to go. Start this mission up. We don't have any artillery. Your soldier arrive at the location pinpointed on the map, and nothing suggests this is the right spot, as there's little to indicate fighting has occurred. They notice a pathway leading between two small hills to a valley.
Někde mezi tím močálem a lesem je letiště, kde má posádku bílá armáda. Musíme jim pomoct ho ubránit.
Okay, aid with the airfield's defense. What have we got going on up here? There's a White Army lieutenant that asked for our help. We're going to coming up the rear of these red soldiers that are about to attack. They don't know we're there. We've only got 2 snipers with critical shot. The other one is a rookie sniper. Chase him down quick. There's friendlies up ahead. Got him. And that wasn't me, that was the White Army. It looks like they're being flanked. Oh, Dominic took a hit there from that first volley. Get into cover. There are quite a few white soldiers and quite a few reds. The whites are not using any type of tactics. Standing in the open of a machine gun nest. Let's move up, they're being flanked. Oh, look at the numbers here. We don't have artillery, so we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. Get into cover. Domed that commandant. Take out the sniper. Oh, the White Army forces are being decimated. Standing out in the open. We need to move up and remove these guys from this nest here. Stepan, our new grenadier, is going to throw that. He's got a very large range. Taking out most of the guys, but there are a few more pushing in. There's a truck now. I do not like the chances of that commandant just standing there in the open. We have to defend him. I don't really want to commit my troops to that machine gun on that truck. So we'll move up into heavy cover. Again, moving up to heavy cover. Commandant is taking some cover finally. Just out of range. Petter is under heavy fire from that machine gun. Fortunately, he's behind the burning chassis of another vehicle. Stepan's going to come up with his grenade. And we'll move a machine gunner up into light cover. Somehow, the white lieutenant survived. He has no forces left whatsoever. So we'll take everything, like he promised. Mainly ammunition. Dominic took some damage in the opening stages of that fight, but overall we didn't get damaged. That's good. That's what I want. I keep my troops alive. This is not a vital mission. We don't have to help.
Дякуємо за pomoc, legionarzy. Ci zatraceni bolszewicy malem wszystko zničili. Musíme začít opravovat letadlo. Nemůžu postradat ani jednoho muže. Takže bych ocenil, kdybyste došli pro tesaře z nedaleké vesnice a přinesli látky.
And nearly every major promise that someone's made to us during this campaign has been broken. Only the little guys that we actually help on the ground seem to repay us.
Skryjem sa. Tak sa pozrieme, čo tam je. Presne tak, pane.
So we're looking for cloth to donate to the whites. We don't have to give it to them. We do have a bit of an excess of cloth, so I will give it to them in this case.
Vaše rozkazy?
If this were for metal, then no, they wouldn't be getting it.
Som tu.
Já što-nibuď uslyšel.
Vaše rozkazy! Vyzerá to, že jsme v suchu. Pripravení! Presne tak,
I
pane.
thought this was an outpost we could capture, but that's not the case.
Rozumiem.
But that one is.
Pane,
Grab that ammo, we do need it. We're a little bit low.
Jasná vec.
The last mission we had 14 soldiers on the field and we were just lighting things up.
vaše
We're at the
rozkazy?
sight of an attack dog and his companion,
Vaše plány, pane?
and it appears there's a reaction force coming.
Ne.
Ano,
But they're about to walk into their own MG nest if they keep coming that
Som
direction.
tu. Počúvam.
But they're not.
Ano,
Let's wake them up.
jdu tam.
There's a large squad behind that burning aircraft. Roman's going to go up and pick a fight with them.
Jdu tam.
They have no idea he's there. Well, now they do. He's going to run up and punch one in the face.
Jsem na cestě.
Yeah, we're right on the border of our MG nest, so we just want to keep them coming this way.
Áno.
Co se
Get
děje?
behind the sandbags. Alright, now they're going to come.
Daleko neuteč. Ano,
The only thing left is the dog. And even now, that is silenced.
rozumím. Dejte mi pokoj.
Shoot
Už
the
jdu.
guy
Rozkládám.
with Death Zone. We could get the guy and the dog before they even react.
Ano,
Oh, miss.
ano. Ne,
Aim shot.
daleko neuteč. Rozkazy? Jdu tam. Už není koho zabít. Co se děje?
Alright, let's head out.
Jsem
We
na
have to
cestě.
collect the cloth and find the carpenter to help them get these aircraft airborne again. That one looks in pretty sorry state. They're crashed into the field.
Seberu všechno, co najdu.
Počúvam. Tak sa pozrieme, čo tam je. Vaše rozkazy? Áno, pane.
90 steel, that's good. We need as much as we can get.
Zdravím, dobrý muž. Neviete náhodou, kde je miestní tesár? Potrebujú ho na letisku.
Uh-oh, here comes a priest.
Tesař. To jsem já.
Hey guys, how you going?
Bílejm pomůžu, o to nic. Ale nejdřív se musíte postarat o to, aby nám ty zdegenerovaný rudý nezničili vesnici. Až je všechny zabijete.
Camilla's been
Úplně do
guarding their
posledního.
airfield.
Přijďte pro mě.
She's gonna drop off
A
the
já
cloth
s
we've
váma
found so
půjdu na
far.
letiště.
rozumím.
Get her back on the MG just in case it gets attacked.
Poslouchám, pane, to nejde. Připraven.
Everyone else can form up.
Už jdu.
Bit of a hike.
Vaše rozkazy? Vaše rozkazy? Som na ceste.
Áno.
Podle rozkazu. Rozkazy?
Ghost. Knows how to move without being noticed. Default movement has sound suppression. So he can just run while he's hiding. That's good. Whoa, dog squad.
Připraven?
We need to shoot the alpha. Which one is it? Uh-oh.
Rozkazy?
Normally there's an alpha wolf, and if you shoot it, they all run away.
Jsem na cestě.
But this pack doesn't have an alpha.
Vaše rozkazy.
Ano.
But our pack is waiting for them.
Poslouchám,
They're
pane.
getting close though.
Za republiku!
Stab it, stab it, stab it. Oh, stab the dog.
Počúvam.
Dominic's being bitten.
Připravený. Rozumím. Presne tak, pane.
So,
Áno, pane.
civilian up ahead. Secure the
Tak
village.
sa pozrieme, čo tam je.
We have to keep
Podľa
those guys
rozkazu.
alive.
Pozriem
More
sa.
cloth.
Ano? Rozumím.
Počúvam.
One more donation and that should be enough.
Hľadám kryt.
Děkuju vám. Tihle látky nám pomohou s opravami.
Áno.
Oh, machine gun. Grenade is required. Step on.
Granát! Rozkazy? Už jdu. Jde se na to.
He can throw it further than their detection radius, which has been the downfall of most of my grenadiers,
Nepriateľa.
especially Joseph,
Daleko neuteče.
who literally got shot in the hand while he was throwing a grenade.
Připravenější už nebudu.
Mám ho na muške. Oblasť Pripravený. je čistá. Presne tak,
Andrea, our medic, she has PTSD, so she's not very useful. She rarely comes on missions, but she has a skill as a machine gunner as well.
pane. Vaše rozkazy?
Because of her PTSD, she can't go far from the train, so a mission has to be pretty much right next to it for her to attend.
Pripravený. Mám ho na muške.
Připravenější už nebudu. Hurá! Postarám se o to, pane. Útočím.
She got that from finding a cellar full of gore.
Ten krvavý úkol je splněný. Pojďme pro toho tesaře.
Like hills have eyes kind of stuff.
Ano? Měním pozici. Ano.
More cloth. It says I haven't collected enough, but I most certainly did. I broke the mission trigger, no doubt.
Jde se na to. Dle rozkazu.
And this looks like to be the exit.
Nepřítel.
More wolves.
Ano, pane.
Počúvam. Mám ho na muške.
Co se děje? Rozkazy?
Shoot the other one.
Zaměřuju.
Very close. Dominic got bitten again.
Jsem na
The dogs
cestě.
seem to like him. The taste of him, anyway.
Jdu
It's not
do
the first
krytu.
time he's been bitten by a wolf.
Seberu všechno, co najdu. Hledám kryt.
Poslouchám, pane.
Where is the carpenter? Is that the guy I spoke to before? He's moved down the
Hned tam
road.
budu.
Áno.
Nemusíte mi nic říkat. Vím, že jste nemohli zachránit všechny. Podívejte, jak mi rudý zmasakrovali syna. Doufal jsem, že utekl, ale ta zvěř ho dostala na cestě. Doveďte mě na letiště. Jestli cestou narazíme na další rudý, pobijte je. Jejich krev za mou krev.
Poslouchám, pane.
Přítele.
Well, he's just basically told us we're going to encounter more in his own way. There is a large squad there. We need to get back on that MG.
Кто здесь? Покажись.
Take the sniper out.
Стой!
Oh, it's two squads. Two squads.
To nejde. Vaše rozkazy?
One little burst.
Vaše rozkazy, pane.
Every burst, someone falls.
Vaše rozkazy, pane?
Amazing work there.
Podľa rozkazu.
Yeah, we're as dumb as doornails.
Zaujímam pozíciu.
Is he going to fly home? Looks like he's getting ready.
Tak, jsme tady. A já se můžu pustit do těch oprav. Děkuju, že jste mě ochránili, legionáři.
So the old carpenter and one old Haggerty White lieutenant is going to hold this airfield and somehow get the Air Force back on the track. Alright, Dominic took some injuries. Camilla's going to get an upgrade. She gets 2 levels of sniper now after watching Dominic and Roman do their thing. Andrea is going to go up a couple of levels of medic, and Bobus as well. Fair amount, but we failed that one for some reason. Yeah, we collected more than enough cloth. As you're leaving, a white soldier on horseback catches up with you. I've been instructed to take you to our supply camp. Come with me. He guides your soldiers to a small, well-defended camp a few kilometers from the airfield. The white soldiers defending it observe you suspiciously, and they offer you, at least a dozen of them seem to watch your every move. They've offered us a lot. We're going to take the 12 artillery shells so we can get our big boom back online. As your soldiers pick up the selected crates of resources, the White Army are pissed. They don't want you taking their stuff. With the addition of new crewmen, we have a brand new experienced doctor, but no work for him to really do. So I think I will get him to make some stimulants to keep everyone on their toes. The research is pretty uninspired. We've got sleeping flasks left. I could build another doctor's bench to help him have an extra shift of doctors. Alright, starting to snow. First snow we've seen, forming up on the carriages. Cold outside. 7 in the morning, -1 temperature. We're just waiting on Team 2 to return. And so I think the white cold winter is here. It's 8 o'clock and the temperature is still low. And snow is well and truly settling on the train. I am curious to see how cold it will get. We're pulling into one of the last stations, Tayshet. We'll just pull up outside and wait for Team 3 to arrive. All the cars are sealed and insulated as high as they can go, but I am concerned that we may need stoves. Just to increase the heating even more. Nothing useful at this station either. Very short stop, we will just continue on. We need a snowplow on the front. Cattle catcher. Team 1 going to loot the nearby village. And we have one stop until we have to decide what we're going to do with the family on board. You've reached the outskirts of our destination. The soldiers look tired, but you know they'll fight the Reds again if they have to. Turning to your advisor, you discuss the fate of Maria Demidova and their family. We're going to follow our orders. Captain Langer disagrees that some of the religious types are a little bit upset that we didn't take the route of charity, but I think we already are. We're at major risk. We're doing our part. Ultimately, our prerogative is to get everyone home to our new homeland. And that doesn't involve getting caught up in the most sordid of international royal conspiracies. There is no turning back. Let's make sure that we've got everyone that we need aboard. Yeah, all teams are aboard. Let's find out what happens to the family. As you make your rounds through the train, you see Maria Demidova serving tea to her children. Some seem quite content. The boy, however, looks deathly pale. The train lurches to a stop, and you have arrived at the station. Outside, your soldiers are disembarking and moving up to the platform to secure the signal box. Between the silhouettes of a few tall buildings, you see fields stretching away as far as the eyes can see. A man in a white army uniform boards the train. Major, thank you for escorting Madame Demidova and her family. We are in your debt. Which unit do you belong to, soldier? You are struck by the tone of your advisor. He clearly is unimpressed by the soldier's lack of etiquette, name, rank and unit, all of it thrown to the wind. I am with the 2nd Step Siberian Corps. Where is Madame Demidova? The soldier smiles, revealing a large gap between his teeth. You draw a passing soldier aside and ask them to fetch Maria. A moment later, she is with you. What's your name, soldier? Corporal Alexander Botkin, if you please, madam. We should be on our way. Follow me to my unit. Tell me, where are we going? Where are they going? She is clearly suspicious of the soldier. Hold on a moment. Shouldn't there be 7 of you? Says the White Army. My husband is dead, says Maria Demidova. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be. Tell me, where are we going? The soldier hesitates and turns to look at your soldiers. Speak freely, Corporal. Anything you can say to me, you can say in front of them. We will escort you to the west, to Yekaterinburg. You and your family will be safe there. Oh. They talk for a while and Maria Demidova asks the soldier to help her with the boy. The sisters gather around their little brother and try and warm him with a blanket. You notice Corporal Botkin seems very anxious to return to his unit. Yeah, Katerinburg, isn't that the place that it was confirmed that the family was found? Maria thanks us. She glances briefly at your advisor before turning away. Some of your soldiers wave and share a heartfelt farewell. Suddenly, your advisor moves forward and takes Maria by the hand. You are not an ordinary person, Maria, nor are you their mother. Maria Demidova says nothing. She looks firmly at your advisor without flinching, but her eyes betray her. You cannot understand why she persists with her charade. Finally, she turns away and departs. The White Army soldier follows. You wonder what will become of them. And so that unlocks the encyclopedia entry, the murder of the Russian Tsar and his family. And I believe that their bodies were confirmed to have been found in that town of Yekaterinburg. To your surprise, Maria Demidova hurries back. She'd forgotten some item of luggage, but she does appear flustered. Alexei's killer, how much do you know? Maria Demidova hands your advisor a tiny glass vial filled with transparent liquid. Cyanide, I assume? Did you do it? Maria shakes her head. No, I don't want you to punish one of your soldiers for this. The cyanide is mine, in case of capture by the Reds. It was one of the children, Alexei. He didn't take good care of them, especially when he was drinking. Captain Langer reaches for Maria, and she allows him to hold her. He says something, but you fail to hear. His words are lost to an icy gust of wind, and he touches his cheek. She touches his cheek, then gently pushes him away. She returns to her family.
Nakonec jsme zjistili pravdu o těch dětech, které jsme převáželi. A já zuřil na naše vůdce za to, že ohrožovali naši cestu domů. Naše cestující. Podle Rudých to byli nepřátelé státu. Stejně jako my, protože jsme je převáželi. Dodnes si nedokážu představit, proč se naši vůdci rozhodli riskovat naše životy, aniž by nás před tím nebezpečím varovali. Pamatuji se, že jsem si přišel jako loutka, kterou neviditelná ruka tahá za provázky. Ani ten dlouho očekávaný telegram zvěstující zprávy o zrození naší republiky mě neuklidnil. Jak by taky mohl, dorazil v den té osudové bitvy. Bitvy, která změnila všechno. Bitvy, která změnila nás.
Chapter 6 down. We had a lot of new faces join the train, and a few strange ones leave. We do wonder what happened to the family.
Rozkazy, majore. Naši vůdci chválí naše odhodlání během cesty přes Sibiř a dychtivě očekávají zprávy o našem příjezdu do Vladivostoku. Říká se, že byla připravena parní loď a že je přístav dobře bráněný. Jestli tam dorazíme, možná se z tohohle chaosu opravdu dostaneme živí. Také se říká, že se s námi v Irkutsku setká zásobovací vlak. Bílá armáda přislíbila výraznou materiální pomoc. Ačkoliv ne zbraně, ale jídlo, palivo a další nezbytnosti, i když zásoby si budeme muset pořád schánět sami. Úsměv, majore. Na chlad možná přece jen neumřeme.
The white snow falling outside and the cold creeping down the bones announce that winter has finally arrived in full force. Let's hope we're ready for it. We have to go to Irkutsk. Situation report, frost. Temperatures are falling and protection against the cold has become a critical necessity. Without it, your soldiers are at serious risk of illness. Foraging is now impossible. Logging takes more time. Trails in the snow allow hunting. Alright, let's make way. It is well and truly white. We'll see just how bad the temperature is going to get here. We are coming into the evening on the first leg into the frosty wastes. Slightly cold entering the evening. I think we might be okay for the first night. Usually drops by 1 temperature point at night time. But we will build a stove as soon as we're able to. Turn the stove on. I built one in the artillery car. I don't think I mentioned that. It just was some extra money. But they don't have full insulation. Alright, so we'll build the stove in infantry car 1. Get everyone on that job. And then we'll build one in number... No, we won't. We don't have enough metal. And that's a real problem for us at the moment. So I need another 150 metal or so to make sure every car has a stove. At the moment, only infantry car 1 has the stove, and that brings us 1 point higher than the current temperature of -2. But our insulation is keeping the rest of the cars secure for now. Uh-oh. We've just ticked to -3. So we now have slightly cold cars everywhere except infantry car 1, which just had the stove put on. So unfortunately the rest of the train's going to have a cold night. Not terribly cold. Our first hunting expedition. Let's see how this goes. We tried but only got a hare. But Camille found the burrow. 36 food. Yummy. Report, Major. We went through the place. The report is interrupted by a sudden outburst of violent coughing. It takes only a moment, but it is a terrible scene to behold. The convulsions, the desperate gasping for air, nails scratching the floor. When the shaking soldier finally raises their head, you see the bloody spittle on their hand and the terror in their eyes. You both know what this means. Tuberculosis. Incurable, deadly, infectious. All soldiers are screened when joining, and the standard procedure when symptoms are discovered is an immediate discharge from the army. So this has given Roman seriously ill. -2 health per hour, -2 morale per hour, 1 to all attributes. Health and morale does not recover, cannot work or be deployed. Chance of receiving a health injury can be removed after resting for 24 hours. Please, Major, I can still help. I can fight. Anything, please. I want to go home. Don't leave me here. Don't leave me in this forsaken hellhole. I want to see my family. You can feel the despair in the plea. It's understandable. A terrible fate to be abandoned in a hostile foreign country only to slowly and painfully die. But if Roman stays, he's an immediate danger to everyone on the train. We're going to let him stay. You try to rationalize the decision. You need every capable hand you can get. However, the tightness in your chest hints at the truth. This is not the right decision. You just don't have the heart to leave him behind. You call in the doctor to discuss preventative measures, and Roman receives detailed instructions. The whole thing, of course, will be kept confidential. During the whole thing, you completely forget about the report, but Roman sends you a note listing everything they found, which is substantial. Wow, we found a lot of gold, a lot of cloth, and a lot of medical supplies to help his newly acquired tuberculosis. So, preventative measures, we're going to have to move Roman into this infantry car 4. which was always going to be our refugee car. And then we'll move the previous occupant in there. And now he's going to live in there with the other doctor who's going to take care of him. I'm just hoping that it doesn't spread because now the doctor is ill too. So have I cursed my train to inevitable death? The train stops at the station and some of your soldiers hop off to stretch their legs. When the locals notice them, they start whispering. After a short while, a local reappears with one person running behind him. A legionary. Another one. Hey, you're here. I cannot believe fortune smiled upon me. I'm going home. Hurrah! Out of pure excitement, the legionary starts to shake your soldiers' hands, hugging and kissing them on the cheeks. The excitement is so contagious that your soldiers start to giggle and enthusiastically help their new passenger with their belongings. We've got a new soldier, Dorito. Alright, so the medical team are trying to keep Roman healthy, but I don't know how this is going to go. The morale is crashing. Shortly after your train pulls into the station, Barbara comes and talks to you in your quarters. I'm not sure what to make of this, Major. I've been asked to deliver the message to you by a woman acting in the most secretive fashion. Barbara gives you a piece of paper and it reads, "We are enemies of the Reds. If you want to help with your journey, come to the abandoned warehouse at the end of the station. If you're afraid, bring soldiers with you. For your own safety, play along with the girls." You assemble a small squad and walk with them in the direction of the warehouse. Within moments, a group of young women emerge from the nearby building. Giggling and smiling, they approach you and your soldiers. "Hey soldiers, are you here for a visit? I'll hope you'll stop by my bed. All good fighting men are away in this stupid war, and I get so cold at night." This takes your young soldiers by surprise, but the older ones and you catch on and play along. Engaging in silly talk and laughter, you all reach the warehouse. The girls knock on the door and someone inside opens it. You and your soldiers are pushed into the building. Inside the warehouse, a group of armed, tough-looking women are waiting for you. The girls immediately drop their act. They close the door behind them and grab their rifles. Sorry for the theatrics, but it was necessary. The Reds have ears everywhere and we're workers from a nearby quarry. We've been defending the quarry from both the Reds and the Whites. By trading with both sides, we've managed to remain neutral. But the Reds have tricked us. We've got a truckload of explosives from them, and using this truck, they've gained entry into the part of the quarry and took over. We need to retake it, and we're no longer neutral. We need to get explosives into the mine, which we actually bought this time. It's a bit strange. I don't know if it's not well written, or we do this ourselves, but we're not soldiers, even though we pretend to be. You discuss the rendezvous and plan for the operation, and finally the girls open the door and once again resume their act, blowing kisses as you leave and complimenting your soldiers. So they got tricked with explosives and now they're using... I don't really understand that briefing, we'll find out soon. Pin to stone, help the workers from the quarry. So there's the open pit mine. We will send off squad 4, all formed up to fight at that battle. Make sure you tune in next time. We'll see what happens. Commander Tyrael, out.